Yes, honey. Woo! Honey, wait a minute. Hold on, honey. Cause you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Look at that. Woo! Yes. Okay, so we're going to plant up the window boxes, hop right in, and then we'll talk about all the components of the plants because, baby, I should have brought my shield because I'm over there by that window box. We'll just cross our fingers. Let me know down in the comment box if y'all got my back. And if these are not some gorgeous ranunculus, I want you to drop down and comment ranunculus. Woo! I love it. The window box looks so amazing. Now, although it looks like there is a lot of blooms going on, you have not seen anything yet because the ranunculus is going to bloom out. It's going to be so beautiful and amazing how the ranunculus is going to bloom out, and they're going to get very big. So I left a little bit of space and accommodated. But even right now, the window box looks extremely full in a healthy way. And you do that by looking at the spacing and just go a little bit closer because it's going to give you the finished look. You know that look in the magazine? That's the look that you're going to get. Now let's talk about the components in the window box here. I use a daffodil tete-a-tete or tay-tay, however you want to pronounce it. And then I use a beautiful pink bubblegum ranunculus. Then I use, and I alternated that pattern. Now, the evergreen that we have here is a Monrovia Green Mountain boxwood shaped in a topiary form. I took you guys along with me on a plant haul to Sherwood's Forest. We picked these beauties out and they have not disappointed. And that's one of the things that I love about Sherwood Forest is he has those topiaries in all different sizes. Yes, you can go to the local nursery and you can find a topiary, a large one, but it's so special when you know that your nursery that you go to is going to have the smaller topiaries. Now, across the bottom, I used a pink sorbet viola. Then I alternated that with a New Look Dusty Miller. Let's get in close and look at this window box. I think it's beautiful. I don't know. You be the judge. Look how beautiful that ranunculus is. You have them in different stages. So you have them in this form right here. Then you have one that's tighter than that. And then you have your buds. That's the way I like to plant mine up, so I extend my bloom time. Now look at the new look Dusty Miller. Isn't it such a compliment? Isn't that such a compliment? Just gorgeous. I love it. This is what it looks like. Now say that is not the picture of perfection. Or at least I think it is. Because I don't want to toot my own horn now. Toot toot! I just finished cleaning out some containers that I planted up a little while ago, and now they need to be replaced. And so that's one of the things that I like to consistently do, is have fresh containers sitting out. As they start to wilt down, I like to pull them out. If I know based on my area that the plant is just not going to make it throughout the winter time or the next season that we're going through, I don't prolong it. I go ahead and I pull it. Now, here are some of the plants that we're going to be using in these arrangements for today. The first thing we'll do, we'll plant these up, and then we'll go in and we'll pull containers for the arrangement that we're going to have gracing the table. You guys know how we do it. So I'll go ahead and I'll take this and we'll put some flats of pansies in here. Or we'll put some packs rather, because it's definitely not a flat. I've already been planting in this, planting out of this rather. I planted up 2 containers for some good girlfriends. And of course, one of them just had to have my hollow board that was sitting on the table. So since I was flipping to a fresh arrangement, I went ahead and let her take them. It's the small things that count, right? In order to achieve the look that I'm going for, I have this evergreen foliage here from the hollow boards. I am going to cut that all the way down because I want to display just the flowers of the hollow boards. These hollow boards will definitely push more leaves. So we're fine, we're covered here. Now that we have this one pulled back, it gives us a different feel. Now let's do the other one. I only have the leaves exposed. Now I'm going to dress the bottom with some beautiful pansies. And actually, in order to get the look that I'm going for, I need to swap this hellebore out and go in with one that's thicker. This is how everything looks close up. I used a beautiful hellebore, and it does have a little bit of bruising on there, but let me find a different one. Let's see. It has the beautiful slight hint of pink around the outside perimeter of the petal. You see how soft and angelic that is? We have our chartreuse, which gives a hint of yellow, that pale yellow color. You look at the blueberry thrill pansy, you can see that there's a slight hint, a very, very slight hint. It fades from a blue, then it goes into a canary yellow, then it goes into a deep, deep hue of purplish burgundy. Can you see that? And then we have that deep canary yellow in the middle. So it pulls everything back in together. The stems of the hellebore also brings in that pink hue as well. I want to put something on that back table. I really don't like to have it empty because that's typically where I like to take my coffee early in the morning. I take my coffee there, so we'll plant this up because I'm eager to see what the garden center still have. Now, it is still a little bit early. I know some of you all in the comment section have talked about, you know, how you were still waiting for inventory to come in to your local garden center. But you guys, I oftentimes will be taking you all through a process. Ranunculus are some of the most prettiest flowers, and I know you guys, I got this stick in my hand, but guess what? We are getting ready to fertilize, and I'm going to need something to stir the fish fertilizer up. So you want to go in and you shake. It just takes so long to shake this up. Hold on one second. Okay, so with your fish fertilizer, a piece of screen, but I like to make sure I can always, no matter what the season it is, if it's late fall going into winter, if it's early winter going into spring, I like to consistently change out my different areas in my garden, and that way I never get tired, I never get bored of it. But we're going to pop this up. Now, I was super excited when I seen that these ranunculus were ready. Let me show them to you. Look how beautiful that is. So let's pot this up so we can get to the garden center. So we'll clean up anything that doesn't look attractive. I had to go and get some more pansies. because I have a space in the back. So let's get this on the table and then we'll head to the garden center. We'll set this right here for now, but when I come back from the garden center, because you just never know with the traffic and everything, how long it may take you to get from one place to the next. And I want to be able to take my time because I'm looking for a certain magnolia and I need them in a certain quantity and in a certain form. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to stop at Lowe's. For Lowe's, I want to see what type of patio furniture they have out, because I am looking for more patio furniture to add to my garden. And I want to see what other inventory they have so we can grab and bring back for more planting.
I figured we would start inside of Lowe's versus outside in the garden center. That way we can see what inventory they have for this season in the way of patio furniture and such. Now, I love to add wicker pieces to my garden, but recently I've been looking for a bistro set. So I do want to cruise through and see if they have anything, as well as some wicker chairs. These wicker chairs are perfect, but I believe they belong to part of a set. Although oftentimes you can split the pieces up. Let's see if we can find the price. $12.48. Not bad, but I'll keep looking because I want to make sure it's something that I know is going to fit. So we'll just cruise on along and see what they have to offer. And I just want to check the material out on this table because I want to see, is it stone or is it a faux stone? And it looks like it's faux. I see some roses here. There are already signs of growth. Rosa floribunda, angel face. And these down here at the bottom are really ready to go. But as far as that, there is nothing out here. Baby, it's dry. Some clearance pots. Let's check these out. Nothing that really catches my eye here. I am looking for 4 Royal Star magnolias. Look at the bloom on that. How angelic. I need a total of 4, and I really want them in tree form. So this is what the bloom looks like when it comes out. It's the Royal Star magnolia. So if I can find 4 of these, that would be great. Look how beautiful that is. A little bit more stats on the plant. So it's hardy down to zones 4 to 9, and it gets 10 to 12 feet tall and wide. And it's the Royal Star magnolia. Now I do still have to clean off the table, but I wanted to show you this up close. Now I use a canary yellow ranunculus, and I was so excited when I seen that this bloom had just peeked out. It had been kind of just sitting like this, and it had opened a little bit more and a little bit more, but all of the other buds were really close tight like this one, and I just could not contain myself when I seen this. So I definitely knew that this was going to be going here in this spot, and it is absolutely amazing. So if we get in close, I use a penny primrose picotee, and you see how we got that deep yellow right there. But then if we jump right on back up, you can definitely see where you have that deep yellow, and it's summoning that yellow onto the front. This ranunculus will get so big, the violas are going to be pushed down because this ranunculus is going to be so large. It's probably going to expand past the pot, but it's going to make it look even prettier, and I'll make sure to give you an update.
I was not able to find any type of patio furniture that I thought was interesting. I was not able to find any of the magnolias that I'm looking for. I'll stay on the hunt because it is going to complete a beautiful design, and I definitely need them. So I'm going to be on the lookout for the magnolias that I'm looking for. And what I want to do now, I'm going to wipe the table off really quick, and then I want to start to weed over here in this area. I might not get it all done today, but I'm going to work as long as I can and get as much done as I can. So I might as well start off by wiping this table down. I pulled up an entire bucket of weeds from over here, but then I also have little small treasures to fill in here, little surprises when you walk through, because I'm trying to get crocus to take up naturally in my garden and naturalize, and they are doing 100% awesome. And they're in places that I did not even put them at. So I'm excited about that. This area over here is going to be transformed. So I'm trying to keep up and just come over here and work a little bit as I have time to do this chore, to do this mundane task. Drop down in the comment box and let me know, have you started on your spring garden maintenance? Let me know, have you started planting up any beautiful containers? I love to hear about it. And thank you all for the overwhelming support down in the comment section. You guys, it has been really encouraging to read your different comments, and it has really pushed me along and brightened my day. I want to thank you all. We'll continue this conversation down in the comment section. Arrangement is packed full of color. I mean, everywhere you look, you see a bloom and you also see some color. You may be saying, okay, we can't see what's going on. So I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer so you guys can see this arrangement. But the plants that we use primrose, and then we also use the Calendula or Calendula, however you want to say it, but it is part of the Kalanchoe family. Came in, we use this beautiful concrete Lobo. No, I do not remember where I got it from. I'm so sorry. I know oftentimes you all ask me, where did you get the container from? I have been collecting containers for so long. I do not remember where I got a lot of my containers from. And I actually have a storage full of containers. Well, not just one storage. We ain't even going to get into that. That's neither here nor there. But we are getting ready to do our next arrangement. But before we do that, let's get in so we can look at this beautiful arrangement, because I want you guys to see what it looks like up close.
Here's how the top of the arrangement looks. Everything is full and it's in unison, and I just love the pops of color. And you can see all throughout the arrangement, we have that beautiful golden canary yellow. Then we also have that fuchsia magenta feel coming on. Primrose is echoing that same yellow color, and I just totally love it. And all of these plants are stuffed in here. The bowl on this is very low. I love to use this bowl. It is a concrete planter and it's a low bowl. So when I have an opportunity to snag up a low bowl, I jump right on it, and I try to get them. If they would have had two, I would have got two. If they would have had three, I would have got three, because these never get old and they're timeless classic pieces. Even though the bowl is small, it is packed full of color.
For this arrangement, you are going to be using pinpoint watering. So what I mean by pinpoint watering is you just want to take your watering can and you just go in and you water this arrangement plant by plant, because if you're watering this overhead, then you're going to mess up the arrangement. And since this arrangement is going to be kept indoors, it's not going to like as much moisture as the leaves are going to hang on to. And just as a rule of thumb, it is best to not water your plants overhead, but try to get it more at the root level. You're just going to come in and take your watering can and find a space, even if that means that you have to pull back leaves, and you just go in and you just try to make sure you hit each individual plant or the region that the root ball is in. Today we're going to be planting up my concrete urns. I'm so excited because it's going to set the vision for this area, and it's going to start to give it more of a complete look. I have some of the plants out here. Let's get in close and let's look at what the plants look like. And Also, I'm going to show you all why I love to use fish fertilizer, especially with my ranunculus and my young seedlings, as well as my hydrangeas. Let's talk about the plants that we have over here.
We have a pink sorbet viola here. I absolutely love this. It is a must for me to use in my containers every single year. We have some beautiful English daisies. I love it because it's giving off that romantic pink mauve color. And we have some beautiful ranunculus.
All of these components are going to be used in these concrete pots. Now, I do have an evergreen inside of them. They're the same evergreens that match the window box. These are boxwoods. They're in a topiary form. They've been shaped up to grow in this globe shape, and I absolutely love them. What I love most about these evergreens is I was able to find these in a small shape. They were perfect to fit in these concrete urns. I'm going to start planting these up. And I'm super duper excited because once I plant these up, it's like spring is official in my garden. I am not going to be going in and adding any fresh soil around here, but I am going to move off the top of the soil because I do have some beautiful maple trees here. And with the maple trees, they drop some seed pods, and they're beautiful when they're on the tree, but then outside of that, they paint the garden with this beautiful rose burgundy color. So I am going to take the top layer of soil off here. And I try to get all of the remnants out of here. Same thing with this container. We'll clean out all of the seed pods here. Now that I have the top layer of the soil cleaned out, I am going to throw this excess soil just in the compost bin, or shall I say my yard waste. Because I have a smaller garden, I'm not able to compost and do the things that I would really love to do if I had a larger property. So in the meantime and in between time, this would be going to the yard waste. One of my good friends gave me some yellow primrose. She knew that I was going to be looking for some, and she said, I'm going to be honest with you. When you look at this plant, you are going to be like, girl, you should have kept this for yourself. But when I seen it, I actually got excited about it. We'll get in close and we'll look at the primrose. To the untrained eye, this primrose looks like it should be thrown out. But one thing to remember with your primrose, when you use them in containers, you can put them outside in your garden in a dapple shade type situation. You want to give them about 46 hours of sun if you can. So something a little bit dapple, because these will come back in your garden every single year. Come on. Pop that out. Easy fix. But while we're planting these containers up, we're also going to be saving money. And I'll show you how. Let's set this down, then I'll run in and go get the number one tool that I like to use when I do containers. Let's pop this out real quick. Just hit it over the bottom to loosen it up, and we're going to pop this out like one big specimen just like this. Now, go down, search on the inside of it, and we'll start to divide the plant up. Okay, so you see this split right here? And just follow it all the way down, and you just work it. So now we have, turn it to the side.
Again, we're going to split it all the way down here just like this. And now we have one beautiful plant to use. And then you can go in, clean everything off. Okay, anything that doesn't look attractive, just go ahead and pull it on out. And you really can take the majority of these leaves off because you see you have more leaves here. So now, look at that. Beautiful plant that you can now use in your planters. Okay, now cut in. There you go. Same thing with the leaves here. Anything that does not look attractive, go ahead and pull those out. Okay, there we go. Put this in here. Just clean the soil off. Now we could, because I feel like this is more plants, but we're just going to pull the excess leaves off, and you can cut them off too. I'm being really barbaric right now. You can cut them too. And we can split this into two, but I want to keep this one a little bit on the fuller side. They smell so delicious and gorgeous. We could split this into two. And then the flowers, we'll address those in a bit. The flowers that's dried up right here, we'll take care of those in just a quick second. Clean up our mess. Is planted up. We're going to make a detour in the way that we're doing these containers here. I have some concrete containers. Matter of fact, let me just show you what they look like, because we're going to plant those up as well. I'm gonna plant up this container right here, and again you can see where we have these seed pods, so we're going to get those out of here. We're going to plant up this container as well. We're going to get the leaves and the debris out of here, and then we're going to plant these up. I'm not replacing this soil in this one. I am going to, however, rough it up a bit. Nice and pliable soil, and this soil is going to look the same as the soil that I'm getting ready to add in here. This container right here, I am not going to add more soil. There is a fourth urn, concrete urn, that we need to plant up. Unfortunately, we're going to have to make, well, I can't even say unfortunate. We're going to make a quick run to the garden center to see if we can find another one of those primrose. Price on it was, I think, $17.98. So we're getting 3 plants out of that one container. Now, if we divide that by 3, that's like $5.99 plus tax. Now, my math could be off a little bit. Check it for me and let me know down in the comments. But let's bring it on back in. I have been looking for yellow primrose and I have been unable to find them. So with my container designs,
I know the year before what I'm going to use in my containers, the vibe, the feel, the way that I'm going to set my containers up, the flows, how long they're going to stay in place. Now, sometimes that plan is disrupted based off of the weather. Sometimes you might think that, you know, your temperatures are going to stay this long at this length. So for example, let's say if I'm planting up some tulips, well, we all know once it gets hot, the tulips are out of the window, right? So let's say I'm only giving myself a 20-something window for having tulips in containers, because that's about the time when they start looking a little bit ratty and tatty. And I'm talking about once they come into full bloom, right? Because you do have that period where the tulips are transitioning, they're getting their color, they're growing and things of that nature. So I'm speaking in reference directly to when they are in full bloom. Let's say if it's cooler longer, then your tulips are going to last a little bit longer. Know about how long that tulip is going to look good in the container, so then I have my next show already in place. This year, for the most part, a lot of the garden centers have not brought in inventory as early as it has warmed up in our region. I've been planting out in my window box since January, and then I've also brought out containers to grace a table and so forth, knowing that we could have a freeze, we could have a winter storm. That again goes into the planning of which containers, which flowers are used, because some flowers are going to be more cold hardy than other flowers. With that being said, the main reason why I'm looking for them in the basket like that, your primrose are going to come bigger, and that goes for any type of plant. They're going to be bigger versus if you bought them in like a 4-inch container pot. It's going to be a lot bigger. Did you see how big those blooms were? You will get a smaller plant and spend about $5 versus me going and buying that basket like that. I'm able to save money and I'm able to up my look. So it's twofold. So I'm saving money on containers, and then in addition to that, I'm getting a better look. So I'm excited about it. So we'll run to Lowe's real quick and we'll see if we can find any of the primrose that my friend gave me. She's had that as part of her plant arsenal for quite some time. Hopefully I'll be able to find some. If not, then I might have to change up my container design. Another thing that I like to do is when I am planning out my containers, I like to give a plan B, a plan C, and then a plan D. But you know, if we get to plan D, then it's pretty bad and I can't find the flowers that I'm looking for. Can't find the primrose, then hopefully I'll be able to go in with an alternative. And then I'll go back and then I'll have to take that first urn down and I'll have to adjust that to fit to the other container, and then I'll use the primrose inside of a different type of arrangement. I'll just use them on top of a table. They'll grace a table because I have plenty of tables on my patio, so it'll be perfect.
I think I see some plants that we could potentially use on the clearance rack. And so this one is $17.98. So we'll get it for 50% off. So let's grab this. They look pretty good, but see, the thing with primrose, when you know what you're looking for, you look down on the inside of that and you see nothing but baby plants, and we can clean this up real nicely.
What a breath of fresh air. I have these containers planted up. They're finally finished. And the primrose are so intoxicating. If you've never smelled primrose before, they have the sweetest scent. One of the things that I want to point out is this boxwood here. I am not going to be trimming up my boxwoods just yet because I want to make sure that my boxwoods are able to maintain themselves. I don't want any burn on them. So sometimes if you go in, you prune them too soon, you have the fluctuations in temperatures, you'll see that. So we'll leave that alone for right now. I am going to keep them in that nice round shape, and I am letting them stretch out a little bit because I want to be able to shape them the way I want them to maintain themselves inside of these concrete urns. Same as the ones for the window box. I think our combination here turned out just right. And this is absolutely loaded with flowers and blooms. Now you can see where as these violas start to grow, they're going to fall over the side of the container. All of that was done by design. So when I sat down and I figured out what I was going to be doing for my garden this year, last year, I wanted to have that feel. I wanted them to drape and nod over the container just like they are now. We will get in close and I'll let you guys look at these. Now drop down in the comment box. Please let me know what you think about these containers because I would so love to hear about it.
Let's pop these out. Deadhead a little bit. This is how the container looks from over top. Absolutely flooded with blooms. So I used the English daisy, and it's picking up that yellow on the inside of the English daisy. We have a primrose right here, and then we have a beautiful pink sorbet viola, the same viola that we use inside of the window boxes. It starts to grow out, it's going to come down and it's going to just fall off the side of this concrete urn, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I cannot wait to keep you all updated. I cannot wait to show you how these bloom out. Same exact thing on this side as the other side. This container is loaded with blooms, you guys. Look at that. Look at that. And you see how big this one ranunculus is? You see how big that is? When you feed your roots, your plant has a strong foundation and they're able to bloom so big. I mean, here is my hand. So almost the same, I mean bigger than this. This is my hand. I mean, how beautiful is this? And then you can see the different ranunculus blooms. Let's talk about the container because I'm getting excited because it's so pretty. So we have a daffodil tete-a-tete in the middle, or daffodil tete. Daffodil tete. And then we have ranunculus. We have primrose. We also have a pink sorbet viola, English daisies. And I'm going to go slow so you all can see this. This container has definitely let me know that spring is here. I mean, and it is wrapped. Primrose, and then I left room for the ranunculus to grow in because these ranunculus are going to get huge, you all. And then you see how the English daisies, you see how they just come off the side of the pot. And then we have the little corks like the daffodils just falling over. And then you can see, even though we have quite a few that's out in bloom, We have quite a few buds that haven't even broke open yet. All of that, again, is done by design. The way the bulbs are put inside of the containers, I'm using like a lasagna type method. So that next round of blooms will be my next buds. Amazing. And I love the ranunculus when the ranunculus are closed tight like this. How pretty is that? Let's see. Okay, now you can get a good view of what it looks like in full. Okay, now you can see. And can you see the layer effect? How the daffodils are in there layered? I just love it. Ah, yes, honey, yes, honey, yes.